Hello, welcome to Atascadero Civics. My name is Christina. I wanted to make a video for everyone who's feeling a bit overwhelmed by all the propositions that are on our ballot for the November 3rd election. As with all my videos, I'm not here to tell you how to vote, but I wanted to give you some advice and resources to make your research process a bit easier. Before I get started, I want to remind everyone that you do not have to vote for everything on your ballot. Don't let indecision or a lack of time keep you from voting for the people and issues that really matter to you. So I decided the best format for this video would just to be for me to go through the process I used to research propositions before I voted this year. And the way I started was with this giant book that we all got. I think it's smart to just open it up. That's the hardest part, is just opening it up. But they've actually made it quite user-friendly for us. So start with the table of contents. They give you a line or two with just a very simple explanation of the proposition. And then next, there's actually a quick reference guide. So this is also super helpful. There's a summary and what your vote means and the arguments for and against and some additional information. Go back to more information about the proposition. And I always go back to people and groups who are supporting the proposition. So if you know some of these people and groups, it can be really enlightening to know who is supporting and who is against the proposition. Next, I wanted to bring in some outside resources to help me wrap my head around the proposition. So a lot of people like Voters Edge, which is a project from the League of Women Voters, which is a excellent, long-time, nonpartisan group to help with voting. And Voters Edge has so much information on, they explain the propositions, and I really appreciate that it shows how much money the yes side and the no side. And I actually found a really cool graph, and I will put it in the description, showing the sort of the percentages of no and yes spending. That's really interesting. There's some videos on here to help you. A lot of people like Voters Edge, and I really appreciated Voters Edge as well. But this year I spent more time on a site called Cal Matters. I don't know if it's because I'm a millennial or an artist or both, but this site is very visually appealing to me and laid out in a way that makes a lot of sense to me. So they have a lot of great information and videos, short videos, a little over a minute, explaining every proposition. And I actually had a lot of fun watching these with my kids. And then we would have a conversation about the pros and cons of the proposition. And it actually helped me firm up my opinion on the way I was voting. So I'm definitely going to do that again in every election I can, go through the propositions with my kids and they learn something and I learn something as well. So after watching those videos, I felt like I had such a better handle on the propositions, but I wanted to be so sure. So I went through, I had a friend tell me that she always keeps all of these voter mailers. So I started keeping mine and going through them and seeing groups that I support and groups that I don't support, and comparing how they recommended voting for propositions. And they're not always the same. And it actually, that's very helpful to know is if the groups that you support, they have the same recommendation on one of the propositions, a few of the propositions, they all have the same recommendation. And you can be pretty confident in your vote. But sometimes the groups don't agree, or they are neutral on a proposition. And so when I come to a proposition that is complicated in that way, then I know that that's one that I'm going to have to do more research on. There's also articles in newspapers where the newspapers will maybe have an opinion. And I know a lot of people vote with friends and relatives. I've heard of groups of friends that will divide up the propositions, and each one will take a few and report back to the group. And there's just all sorts of ways to get this research done. I hope I helped a little bit. Please let me know how you research propositions, and that can inform me, and then I can come back next election with more information and more help for everyone. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.